Welcome to the Jericho Podcast.
And today we're talking about The Future of No Work by Philip Drimalka. We all have wondered what AI is going to do and what's going to happen now that AI has become so prevalent in today's day. So we're going to talk about it. Let's see where the conversation goes, and we're glad you're here. So, what do you guys think? Just off the top of your head, how has AI been good? Has been bad? What's it like?
It's been good and bad both. Good because I can write emails more frequently now, and the AI does it for me. Bad because it doesn't know how to generate images and videos yet, and that takes more time than what I can normally create.
How has it impacted your productivity actually?
If I want an animated video, I have to give it commands and redo it like 10 times versus when I can just create it on a normal thing, like joining videos together. So that takes more time. So AI is supposed to make my work easier, but that's not there yet.
Interesting.
What about you?
Well, I have had no insight into how this works for image editing and such, but yeah, I use it for research and writing and email drafts. I think so far I find that it's best for email drafts and such correspondence, but other than that, research and writing perhaps not so much because it does seem to sometimes get the facts off and you have to go back and correct it. So you can't really rely on that entirely.
Now I understand why both of your emails have suddenly gotten better somehow. I think it's ChatGPT, I guess.
Yeah, we're very AI tech enabled already when it comes to a few things.
Very AI technical. But you're right about the facts part, because I experienced that quite a bit as well. When it comes to hardcore research, at least ChatGPT doesn't cut it at all. It doesn't get the facts right. At least for me, in the start it was worse. It's gone a little better, but still, it just hallucinates a lot.
What about the deep research feature?
The deep research really helps because, it helps because it takes about 10 minutes to actually double, triple
Yeah,
check
that is
everything.
yeah.
Correct? But then it also becomes an issue where I only get a certain amount of deep research punch holes, I guess, let's say. Certain times I can use deep research in one subscription in a month. It's like 17 or 18 times.
It takes a lot of time also to
It
do
does.
deep.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, especially if you want quick answers.
Yeah.
Have you got around that anyway? What have you done in terms of like when it comes to facts and you've not got something right with ChatGPT? What do you do in that situation?
Well, I will go back and say that hey, this is not the case and this is the case, and it's the yes, you are right.
Wow, so
You are
ChatGPT is a
correct.
really good employee then.
Yeah.
You can just be the boss and be like,
Yeah,
that's not okay.
definitely. You are right. I got that wrong.
Wow.
Here is the correct fact, and here is what you're looking for.
Wow, I think AI doesn't need to improve when it comes to accepting mistakes.
Yeah, that's one thing it has gotten right.
Yeah, and it doesn't have to deal with the consequences either. I think if it gets something wrong,
It's like, okay, I'm sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And
didn't
that's
think of it like that.
I mean, that recently came out with Deloitte as well, when I think Deloitte got flagged 2 or 3 times by the clients for when they used AI and the calculus came out completely wrong.
Oh no.
It happened 2 or 3 times. So it's even with big companies, all they can do is just say, "Oh, you know what?
I'm
I
sorry."
blame the AI."
And so, does that happen
So I
in
guess I
your
have to
case
say
as
goodbye
well?
to the Deloitte job, I guess.
Does that happen in your case as well when you're editing videos where you see glitches upon glitches? So it basically means you have to go back and do.
Yeah, for like take Sora for example. In that, you'll have to re-edit one video at least 10 times before you get a desired output. Simple video, woman in a sari. It refuses to either make the woman proper or make the sari proper, or the background is horrible, or the flow is not there, and she's just walking in thin air. So to correct the first mistake, I have to give him a prompt, and then it screws up the new mistake. It gets like a new mistake. So it's 10 times, and then I have to get an output for that.
Yeah, it's completely unreliable when it comes to video generation with Sora, at least. And I think, didn't they just, just something came out by OpenAI about like ending Sora, I think, right?
They're not getting what they want with Sora, so bye-bye.
Wow. Yeah, so Sora is gone, but have you tried Gemini 3.1 by any chance? Any of you guys?
No, I've not tried Gemini.
Okay, we should definitely try that because that I've been told is the new wave of video generation where everything comes out really good. VO 3.1 is what it's called. It's synergistic with Gemini 3.1. And for facts, especially the thing you pointed out, Perplexity is the best when it comes to facts. I've at least seen that. When it comes to facts, Perplexity is able to go into an article, pick the exact fact, and give you a citation. So that when you do click on the citation, it takes you exactly to the article, which
Right.
is super interesting.
What about Claude AI?
Claude, yeah, that's a good question. Claude actually is very, very useful when it comes to analysis because it hallucinates very less and also takes exactly from the data that you've given it. So it's super smart that way. But again, with Claude, we have a similar problem when it comes to the same issue with deep research. Is that with Claude, you can, if you don't have a subscription, you have a
Yeah.
maximum of 2, 3, 5 prompts. I
That's
guess.
a problem with every AI. You need a subscription to get the best quality of the AI. If
Right.
you don't have, they just give you basic stuff and basic
Right.
answers.
Yeah, it's like any consumer company where they'll just be like, if you don't pay, you're just gonna get our basic version. But if you do pay, you'll get our top of the line highest model that we have right now.
And the more you pay, the best output you get.
Right. So it looks like it right now, it's just like a tech AI playground that all of us are dabbling in, and it doesn't seem like AI is completely seamlessly integrated into
There's
all
no
of
real
our
winner.
workflows yet.
Yeah. There is no real winner, and it's also that AI is not fully integrated. But I honestly didn't think in 2023 that it would be this prevalent.
Yeah, I think we're getting there slowly.
Right, we are getting there, and specifically because I'm so interested about how they've actually, designed the AI. Right, we come from a publishing house, right? We work at a publishing house, and you've probably read Thinking Fast and Slow. I've heard about it by Daniel Kahneman,
Yeah.
right? So Thinking Fast and Slow talks about like how you can use your brain has two kinds of let's say two kinds of modes.
Yeah.
Right? The slow mode is basically when you think more, think deeper about problems, and the fast mode is something that you just use the previous data or previous decisions that you've made to just make a decision quickly.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same when it comes to AI.
Yeah.
They've created a slow mode, which is the thinking mode, where you get the thinking option in ChatGPT, Claude, whatever. You get an extended thinking option, and you can click on it, and it's exactly like slow thinking. And fast thinking is without the thinking option enabled,
Right.
which is crazy to me because they have built an emulation of the human brain for AI. Fun question. Are you guys scared that AI might replace you, or are you're like, I don't care, I'm gonna be fine?
Yeah, right now I don't care because seeing what it's doing, it cannot.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah. I mean, what about you? What do you think?
I don't think it's going to replace me anytime soon, provided I quote unquote get with the program
Step up.
and yeah, exactly, step up and upskill. Yeah.
Right, because and talking about upskill, because I do understand a lot of people say it nowadays, but it's just said very easily that AI will not replace you, but someone who knows AI would
How to
replace
use
you.
AI.
How to
Yeah,
use AI.
yeah.
So how are you upskilling when it comes to AI?
Right now, like I said earlier, I think it's like a play down. So I'm just like tinkering with AI and Perplexity and Claude. But one of my coworkers already has mentioned a few courses, so I'm going to try. I think those are by Anthropic or Claude, so I'm going to try these.
Yeah, Anthropic has come up with a new few courses now recently, which is very interesting. I think all of us should check it out, and even the
Yeah.
people at home, you guys should check it out as well. Because again, how are you upskilling?
I'm learning different types of AI, playing around with everything, and learning how to make prompts better.
Ha,
So that
that's
is the
a
thing.
very important
Because
skill
if you
to
give it a
do.
basic prompt, it's like, but if you give them a deep dive prompt, you're like, yes, I am making this right now.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. But when it comes to prompt engineering, on picking on that thread, prompt engineering was initially a job that kind of made us all go, oh, prompt engineering
Yeah.
could be a
It's the
job.
next thing.
Yeah, it's the next thing, exactly. And then what happened was prompt engineering just disappeared because AI got better at doing its own prompts. Or AI created, or people used AI to create another AI that give you better prompts to be able to put it in the meaning.
But I don't know how far that has gone because, like Greg said, you have to keep intervening. You can't leave it entirely to its own accord because the output is not going to be
Yeah.
great. So it does seem like
At the end of the day, a
prompt.
human has to give the prompt.
Right.
Yeah, and
The
it has
AI
to
is not
be
going to
very
like read your
specific.
mind and say,
Yeah,
I.
yeah.
So it's safe to say that we're still safe.
We're safe
when it
at the
comes to
moment,
jobs. We're safe as of yet. But I have heard that quite a lot of companies, we can put some articles here. Quite a lot of companies have actually laid off, but they pretend saying that it's not like it's AI, but it could or could not be AI. We don't know. But if it is AI and they've laid off a lot of entry level people, what does it mean for people who've just got out of college and are just getting into the workforce?
I would have to imagine that they are looking at a very different and difficult
time, yeah.
certainly. So if all of us right now are talking about upskilling, for them, I imagine it's a much more intense version of upskilling because they just out of college, so no work background, no work experience. So I think on that side, it's a pretty difficult terrain to navigate.
Right.
For
Yeah,
this-
because in college they don't teach you much skill set.
yeah,
You have to learn as you
pick it
go.
up yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
And now the entry level jobs are not available. What are you learning?
Right, exactly. It's
Yeah.
like a missing step, right? Because your college is one step, and the next step was supposed to be entry level job, and then a
Yeah.
middle manager or a middle level job.
Yeah.
But if the middle step is just taken away, how are you gonna jump? It's a pretty big jump that you might not be able to make.
Yeah.
Right. So, where does that lead us in terms of the future of AI? Because the future of no work talks about the future of no work specifically talks about how the author who is proficient with AI, right? He's worked with AI for many years, he's super proficient, but at some point he felt like he was going to lose his job to AI, right? Because we think we're safe right now. When someone who is in AI, who is the forefront, it's probably we would say way ahead of us, and then it comes to AI, has already thought that eventually his job is going to go. So I think it's kind of scary for all of us.
Yeah,
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also because we're looking at a revolution in motion, like a tech revolution. So we don't really see what's coming ahead. But what's certain is that the way that we used to think about work and how we think of our professional life is going to change entirely. We're going to see job titles that we never saw before.
Yeah.
I think years down the line, all of us are going to be in job titles, like having job titles that we didn't think
Yeah.
we would have. So I think it all boils down to one, how AI technology in and of itself develops, but two, how we adapt to it as well.
Right. And besides that, speaking about job titles, I think we should do this fun thing of we should all name what we think this fictional job title would be for us, and let's say fictional job title would be for us and what the responsibilities would look like. And it could be anything from your dream job or anything that integrates AI.
Oh, that's an interesting question.
I think Greg has already been thinking about this. So let him start first.
I was thinking about AI supervisor,
AI supervisor. Okay.
in which there are no people working for the firm. There are only AI working, and I have to supervise.
Oh.
So I'll be entirely responsible for the entire company's AI.
Okay. So would that be as like
Have you seen the
Team-
movie I Am Legend?
I have? Yeah.
In that, well, it goes badly, but there's a central brain, and someone is in charge of the brain. But then the brain goes rogue. So it's my job to keep that from happening. That's a good job.
So you're going to be the Will Smith of AI.
Maybe. And I don't want to be Will Smith, but in general, yes.
But I mean, when it comes to the supervisor, they've also talked about something like a one-person AI company, right? AI does all the job. AI does all the job, and you are the one person at the top who's a CEO. I mean, Sam Altman talks about the first billion-dollar company, a single-person billion-dollar company will be because of AI,
Yeah.
right? So AI supervisor definitely, or AI CEO in the future. What
Hopefully.
about you?
I think I see myself in a position where I'm able to give more output because I have tools that work faster and are much more efficient. So I think that opens up more time and space to take on more responsibilities wherever I am. So I'm having a hard time picturing what that looks like, but I definitely can see that it's very, very AI heavy.
Because me personally,
Hmm.
I have always been fascinated somehow, and I don't think this relates, but I've been so fascinated with how 3D printers.
3D printers.
I'm sorry. So I mean, if for people like me who can't really say what a 3D printer is, we'll show a 3D printer here. So 3D printers, I've been fascinated by them because you can just give them a thing or give them a model of a thing, and it just manifests itself in a way, right?
You can make
So-
action figures with that.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
good ones.
Make really cool tools and action figures as well. So what I envision it being in the future, especially for me, is when AI becomes so smart that it can take control of these tools that otherwise we wouldn't have access to. And all I have to do is just voice it out and say, I'm thinking of this idea. Let's try this out. And it does all the work. The final product definitely is attributed to me because the idea came from me, but AI is able to just create based on what I'm just saying. Because we see something similar with this, with Claude Design that's come up now. There was a lot of designers, website designers, who just gave a one-line prompt, Imagine that, a one-line prompt, and it created a whole website based off of that, based on the aesthetic that they describe in their one line, right? So I think it's not very far-fetched to think that all I have to say is like, this is what the product I'm imagining. Give me a level 1 prototype of this, right? Imagine what businesses would be like if any idea that you have can basically just be created in a matter of a day, in a matter of 24 hours,
That would be
Right.
fast.
right?
Pretty fast, yeah.
Yeah, because we have a lot of books that talk about how you can get from 0 to 1, how you can get from an idea to creating a prototype, from startup to Proficon is one book that we have as well. But specifically, that's the hardest part, right? Because we keep procrastinating, keep doubting ourselves, and it never really sees the light of day. So imagine what something like that would do.
That'd be really interesting to imagine also. Like, you don't have to do much work.
Yeah.
Just give it one prompt and voila.
Yeah, it's not even a prompt because you're just saying it out loud.
Yeah. Which is why I think I want to pivot to you, because in office he's known as AI Pablo because that's all he reads
Yeah.
up about. What do you think about this whole idea of there's a doomsday, crumbling down our way?
When it comes to doomsday, do you mean a doomsday when it comes to AGI, like artificial general intelligence, AI coming to life and then wanting to
Take over.
exterminate humans?
No, I'm talking more about the idea of the fear that everybody has that, already we are struggling when it comes to entry level jobs. Now, the more AI becomes a part of our lives, the less jobs we have. So, what do you think about that entire narrative that's going on around?
I think, like it happened, there's a thought experiment, of course, that is a good thought experiment to actually do, because turns out how when we had horses back in the day, and when cars came along, it's not that horses didn't have anything to do. We found racing, right? And there's always an amp up in technology. So basically, what I mean to say is, forget the horses, even horse riders, people who were riding horses. When cars came along, it's not that they have nothing to do. They started driving cars, right? So when cars got more advanced, it's not that there was nothing else to do. There were people to repair and maintain. It created more jobs. As technology went one step ahead, it created more jobs.
Right.
It created a big wave of new jobs, right? So as we saw the prompt engineer come and go, like it came very quickly. It came around 2023, 2024, when we thought prompt engineering is not going to be the best thing.
Yeah.
And then now they just made the large language model so smart that now you don't just have to describe what you want.
Right.
Like if you're articulate enough, it's going to give you the right thing. I don't think it's going to impact jobs as much. And when I say I say it very, very specifically, as much as we think it's going to, it's going to a little bit, because the entry level jobs are still going to struggle. Self-learning is going to be the main thing that we all have to be very, very vigilant of, because you're not going to learn a lot if you don't want to learn a lot. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Especially those who refuse to use AI. I mean,
I think, yeah, that's the key here. Rather than being shut off from it entirely, just it's like baby steps. Try to see what's out there, see how it can be integrated into your um work day, and basically apply whatever you're learning through AI. I think maybe for people who are just in college or just entering the job market, something like this would be a much better perspective to hold than just, oh, jobs are not there, jobs are not going to be there.
But in that case, it also makes you question, right? Because what happens to the people in the realm of AI, in this realm that when AI has become so prevalent, what happens to the people who are still scared, who still go like, I don't know what's going to happen. It's best for me to just take a step back and not really get involved in this.
We have to see like what are your other options besides not going forward with AI. What are the jobs which don't involve AI, which are basically a few,
Yeah.
because now everything, my smartphone has AI. All the smartphones coming up as AI.
Yeah.
Cameras have AI.
Yeah.
Basically everything has AI right now.
Yeah.
So what part of jobs don't have AI?
What jobs do you think would not have AI?
Manual labor. I mean, you can create robots that will do manual labor, but that will be like more expensive than hiring a person to do, especially in India.
So technical skills as well.
Yeah. Mostly manual labor. I'm talking about the daily wage workers.
Yeah.
For that, there are tools, obviously, but AI wouldn't be a good fit for that.
Right. Because I mean, we see a lot of robots coming up, a lot of machine learning,
Yeah.
a lot of people saying that robots are the future.
AGI, like you mentioned. As well.
Right. But I do think that, sure, those jobs will still be there, but doesn't that mean that there's going to be the jobs at the bottom, and jobs at the top, and the middle class is going to get wiped out? Is that what you think is going to happen?
But buying a robot is what, like 1-2 million versus paying a guy what 1,000 a day to do work. Which would you prefer, paying 1 million or?
Right, but robots are expensive right now. I do think that as and when, I mean, getting a ChatGPT subscription probably in 2023 was very expensive when they didn't have subscription-based services.
Yeah.
There might be robots for subscription, right? Buy a robot for this amount of money.
Subscribe for a
Robot, yeah.
That seems fascinating.
Like,
I would subscribe for a robot any day.
if you want the best robot, you pay say X amount of money per year, and if you want an entry level robot, this is like less work. It's very less amount.
Wow. So if you
Imagine
want
that.
like paper pushing robots, someone who can just do your emails and things like that, you get a $5 subscription of a robot. And if you want somebody who can do skilled work, actually think, then you get a full-fledged proper whatever amount that costs.
This
robot.
reminds me of this old series called Small Wonder. If you watched it.
Never heard of it.
No, I haven't watched it.
Yeah. It's a family and the father builds a robot and it's a family and the father builds a robot and it's basically a small girl, but she's a robot. But she integrates into the family and she's almost like their daughter and is like a sister to the younger boy in the family. But at the end of the day, she's a daughter. So she's a robot. So she's very, very fast and just everybody else in the family has to keep up with her, basically.
Right.
Oh.
That sounds like an interesting series. Never heard of that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to watch, Richa does suggest you guys go and look it up.
Yeah.
And with that, we will come to the end of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and felt like you were one of us right here sitting with us having this conversation. Go check out the book, The Future of No Work, because it's very, very important in today's day and age that you learn about AI, you get to know about AI, so you can keep up. So you're not like one of those family members in which the daughter is a robot and they can't keep up. You don't want to be like that. Trust me. And
also, we have more AI books.
Oh yeah, we do have more AI
So
books.
visit Jacob Publishing House's website. We have more AI books, so please check it out.
And for you guys who are too lazy, it's okay. AI has come out now, so it's okay to be lazy. We are going to put the book links in the description as well, so you guys can find all the AI books, see which one you like, and get your copy today. So thank you so much for tuning in, and we're gonna be back with the next one very, very soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys.